So tell me more about like when you went to go visit your dad in Marion, because we spoke about this on part 1 of the podcast that we did.
Right.
It's obviously it's sad, visiting a parent in prison, especially if they're not coming home. But I know your dad would cheer you up. Like, what are some of the things that he did that cheered you up that you remember that put a smile on your face in a tough situation?
He was just always positive, and he always made us laugh, no matter what.
Mhm.
He was good with the. If you say something, he'd shoot you back with a one-liner that just made you crack up. He was very funny that way, very funny. And so he made you feel, like he just, it was positive, it was funny. So he made you feel, he always made, like I used to have like issues like, not a lot of self-confidence, and that used to make him mad. So he would, it always was positive with me. Always, like, oh, come on, you're gonna do it, you'll do it, you could do it. Everything was always positive. So, I don't know what else to say, like how he was.
Okay. Well, you told me a story that Vinny the Chin
Oh,
Gigante
okay.
made you laugh.
So it was right after my
This
dad
is a good
had
story.
surgery. What?
So this is a good story.
Yeah. So my dad had surgery, and we were going to see him. It was the first time right after the surgery, and it was Uncle Pete, my sister, and myself. I don't remember if my mother was there.
And this is in Springfield, in the medical facility.
Is in the medical facility, the prison. So they took us through this back way. It was really strange. Like it was like all these different like tunnels and stuff. I can't explain it. And I don't know why. I think that was the first time I was in Springfield, but whatever. So we get to the elevator, and the elevator door opens, and this man comes out that I had recognized. I recognized him, like I was like, almost like, oh, like I knew who he was. I just didn't remember his name or nothing. And so he looks right at me, and he winked. Like he winked at me. Like he saw the three of us, but he winked at me. And when I got into the elevator, so my Uncle Pete had started laughing. So I said, Uncle Pete, I said, who? And before I could finish saying, I said, who was that? He looked so familiar. And he says, that is, how did he say it? That's the Chin, or Vinny the Chin, or whatever. And I was like, oh no, that's it. He looked so familiar. But it was funny because he was walking out of the elevator, and he looks and he winks at me like a really, I can't explain, like the wink that he did, like with a little smirk on his face. But then, like, I thought it was cute and funny, whatever. But then when it hit me, like, then I got mad.
Why?
I got mad because here was my father, just got out of surgery. He has cancer, and he's still in solitary confinement. And here's this man who just got off an elevator, and he's walking like nothing.
Well, to anybody that doesn't know, Vincent Gigante, who's been, nicknamed the Chin, he was convicted of being allegedly the boss of a major crime family. And
why are you going into this? Everybody knows.
Not everybody.
Oh, everybody knows.
Okay, so allegedly he was the boss of some outfit called the Genovese Family, and And for decades, he pretended to be mentally ill and walked around New York in a bathrobe, drooling and, acting, like incompetent, basically mentally incompetent. And this went on for decades. I don't know, 15 years, 20, I don't know how many years. And he even after he got convicted in 1990, I think it was 97. I know Gravano testified against him. I think that other guy from Philly, Leonetti, I think he testified against. And anyway, even in prison, he kept up this ruse that he was mentally unfit to be there or to stand trial. And then, I think, I don't know, 2002, 2003, he admitted in court, no, the whole thing was an act. I'm sharp as can be. I was never mentally insane, but he would check into psychiatric hospitals to basically, so if the day ever came where he was indicted, he could fight it and say, no, I'm
See, I didn't even know any of that. And I didn't even care to know any of that.
But it's funny that like he gave you like a wink, like, you're in on the joke,
It was so funny. But then later on when I thought about it, I was upset because I said, you know what? Wait a second here. Like, so he is walking around like it's okay. And so my dad is still in solitary confinement. The only inmate in Springfield, Missouri's history to have solitary confinement. And then I just got, and then it was just like bitter mad over it. Not mad at him. I can't get mad at the man. I was just mad. Like, this is so crazy. Like, this man is dying and you still have him in solitary confinement.
Well,
Amazing. And then people want to question how tough my dad was. Was he weak? Was he tough? You have no right.
Listen,
nobody has a right to even say the word weak in the same sentence as John Gotti.
Anybody that goes to prison for life in a USP under the harshest prisons, even in an easier facility, not a USP, one of the lower level ones that's in there for life, when they could walk at any time or get favorable treatment at any time by just mentioning, people's names, there's a toughness there to anybody, and especially in your dad's condition where he died chained to a bed. What are you kidding me?
He was tied. His feet, each foot, his feet were tied to the bed and his hands were tied to the bed. And people want to question if my father was weak or tough. Bull. Question yourself if you're weak or tough.
The better story, though, as we've discussed, you told me a story that. Well, why don't you tell the story of what your Uncle Pete said to you when what happened with him and Vinny when they got arrested together in I think it was the Windows case in, I don't know, 1990 or 91, whenever it was. What happened when they were in the van together?
How do you remember these things?
Because it's a funny story. You do that. They got arrested together in the Windows case, and they were, I don't know, they were in a van together, locked up. And your Uncle Pete goes to Vinny, "Hey Vinny, how you doing?" And Vinny didn't even answer. He just goes, "Brrr."
Yeah, like he maybe
the van was wired for sound. Who knows? So
it was like a paddy wagon thing, right?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Yeah, it was like a van or something, and he was handcuffed, and he got in, and he said something like, "Hey Vin, what's doing?" or "What's up?" Whatever he said, and he was like.
Look,